Coming to you live from the MediaPlex in downtown Windsor, this is a presentation of St. Clair College Journalism.
Good evening, I'm Riley Livingston, and you are watching MediaPlex News Now. Dr. Kieran Moore, the Chief Medical Officer of Health for Ontario, was seen on video last week without a mask. This comes only days after Moore recommended a mask indoors to ease the pressure on provincial healthcare systems. The footage in question shows Moore at a party held indoors, standing in close proximity to others. As a result, Moore has faced criticism both online and in Queen's Park. Let's join Constable Lauren Briscoe from Crime Stoppers with this week's updates.
On November 18th at approximately 8 p.m., Windsor police officers were called to the intersection of Ellesmere Avenue and Ellis Street East following a report of a collision. Through investigation, the officers learned the victim was near the intersection when he was struck by a black SUV traveling northbound on Ellesmere Avenue. The vehicle will have front-end damage as a result of the collision. The pedestrian was taken to hospital and has since died from his injuries. Anyone who lives in the area is asked to check for their security cameras or dash cams for footage that may assist in the investigation. If you have any information, please call the Major Crimes Unit or Crime Stoppers anonymously at 519-258-TIPS or online at catchcrooks.com. I am Police Coordinator Lauren Briscoe.
The Goodfellows are getting ready to spread Christmas cheer around the city. Manavi Shetty reports.
Yeah, that's good.
The Goodfellows are back with their traditional holiday newspaper. Every year around this time, Goodfellows travel across the Windsor city to sell their annual newspaper.
The paper drive brings in 43% of our operating budget each year. And we always get a good response from the citizens in our area. They've always supported the Goodfellows, and we're hoping for another good year of fundraising.
With the collected donation, they curate Christmas meal boxes and food vouchers for thousands of families who cannot celebrate or afford Christmas.
And all the money raised goes directly to our programs, the monthly food banks, the Christmas box, the shoe and boot program for children in junior kindergarten to grade 8, and the school breakfast program at 29 schools in the Windsor-Tecumseh area.
So this Christmas, get your Goodfellow paper on, donate some new and unwrapped toys for children, and the Goodfellows will gladly do the work. I am Manvi Shetty from MediaPlex News.
Looking for a used car? Get ready to pay more. Soha Asfahani has the story.
Everyone knows when you drive a new car off the lot, its value depreciates immediately. But right now, that's not true.
The market has been a little different in the past couple years. We've seen a dramatic change in the used car business. There's a shortage for inventory, and what's causing this is the demand for used vehicles.
Ahmad is the owner of Legend Motors car dealership. He says new car shipments are low, pushing demand for used cars.
The market in the U.S., a lot of the used car dealers have been shipping cars to the U.S. because there's a demand there as well. So it's harder for us to get inventory to put on our lots.
Isa has about half the volume of used cars on his lot currently. Anthony Herb is looking for a car with no lock.
Also, the used car, we're not afford to anymore to get a used car. So I don't know what's gonna happen.
Henry Pedler owns KZ Renovations and needs cargo vans for deliveries, but the prices are too steep.
The prices is almost 30 to 40% higher than usual. Either the parts, everything we're facing these days is hard.
According to Statista.com, 3 times more used cars are sold than bought new. I'm Sahas Fahani for MediaPlex News.
The Chimchak Museum is hosting a series of holiday arts and crafts sales and offering free entrance to all. Prince reports.
Museum Windsor organized the Holiday Arts and Crafts Sale at Chimchak Museum on Sunday, featuring a variety of local crafters and artisans selling handmade and locally sourced goods. There was a silent auction and family-friendly activities and limited edition Museum Windsor glass Christmas ornament for sale. Vendor Elizabeth sells magical decorations and kids items, noting it's a good time to scratch names off the holiday shopping list while supporting local artisans.
So it's a junior magic club. We're here doing balloons and teaching kids magic. It's free for kids in Windsor. And basically we teach magic tricks, teach them how to do balloons. We have stickers, little fortune telling fish for them. And I have ornaments which are made from the maple tree in my backyard.
Artist Nancy Anger makes baskets.
Most of them are made from reed, which is a rattan vine from Indonesia. But some of them are my local, which I grow. This is sweetgrass.
The Museum of Windsor plays an important role in many events, projects, and initiatives and celebrations in Windsor's culture and heritage community. And the sale will take place again this Sunday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. I am Prince from MediaPlex News.
Kingsville kicked off their Christmas celebrations this weekend. Joanne Jung has the story.
Kingsville's Fantasy of Light celebration begins last Saturday with the annual Santa Claus Parade, followed by opening ceremonies at Lakeside Park. Despite the freezing weather, it did not stop people from participating in local events.
Oh, it's awesome. The lights here are great. I haven't been here before, but I hear they're awesome. It's a nice little town. Everybody's friendly. As you can see, they're giving some hot chocolate here. Everything's exciting.
As the sun went down, the parade route was lit up with various big and people decorated with Christmas decorations. In addition, even in the cold weather, volunteers who delivered hot chocolate contributed to the success of the event. The candies given out in the passing procession made the children forget about the cold, and everyone shared a happy day.
I'm very excited. I really like the lights and the music, and it's a lot of fun. So the kids like it, so even though it's cold.
Meanwhile, this event continues with fun Christmas-themed activities until January 4th. I'm Juan Jung for MediaPlex News.
If you're looking for a new hobby, pottery might be something to keep in mind. Rawad Kansoon has more.
Pottery is one of the oldest and most widespread of the decorative arts, consisting of objects made of clay and hardened with heat. These objects are commonly useful ones, such as vessels for holding liquids, plates, or bowls from which food can be served. You can enjoy making your own pottery in Windsor at the Expressive Brush Art Studio. This introductory level class will get students comfortable with the wheel, controlling the speed, balancing, centering the clay, and getting a feel of how the movement contributes to shaping.
So we do pottery here, and we teach it so that they can make a bowl or just something very basic in the beginning. And to do that, we have about a pound of clay, and then we work it, we center it, and then we raise it, and then they widen it, and then they finish.
Pottery is left at the studio for 1 or 2 weeks to allow clay to dry. Participants enjoy doing pottery and shaping their pieces from the first step till the final product.
Very good experience. It was very quick, easy. Teacher is great. He guides you step by step. It's very much a lot easier than you would think it would be. Great experience. We've learned a lot of patience, a lot of craftiness, a lot of artistics.
Expressive Brush Studio has a wide range of art classes, especially during the winter.
We do have art classes every week, so weekly classes for kids, teenagers, adults. We also do group activities, we do team building, we do birthday parties. I teach drawing, painting, we do watercolors, we do clay, mixed media, abstract art. We do all kinds of different classes.
Pottery is an art you can use, and it's unique as yourself, and it might even make a good gift. For MediaPlex News, I am Rawad Kansoon.
Canada has passed a new law related to work for international students. Simarjeet Singh reports.
Until now, international students could only work up to 20 hours per week. But new legislation passed by the federal government allows these international students to work full-time as long as they continue to meet the conditions of their study permit. Abhishek Sharma is an international student.
So the students who are working very hard to earn their tuition fees and all the living expense can have a better opportunity to fulfill all their needs.
Nikhil Pimpalkar is a bit worried about how it may impact student studies.
It is a good opportunity for us to earn a good amount and actually we can fulfill our needs, as here it is so costly. But I think the drawback here is we can't, I think this money, the people became greedy and they will focus on earning. Then the major factor, which is they are here to study. So I think, it's going to be a drawback.
From November 2022 until December 31st, 2023, international students can work more than 20 hours per week off campus while attending school. But there are still requirements. You must ensure IRCC received your application of study permit, including extension, on or before October 7th, 2022. You must have an off-campus work authorization on your study permit, and you must be either in Canada or coming to Canada by December 31st, 2023. For MediaPlex News, I am Samajit Singh.
Eating disorders are a serious matter, but there is hope and support for all who need it. Alyssa Horobin tells the story of one teenager's battle with anorexia.
Liliana Napozlin, to many, is an average 17-year-old girl. She's taken ballet since she was 4 years old. She studies hard, attends church, hangs out with friends, and enjoys doing makeup. But there is one thing that turned her normal life on its head, and it began long before anyone saw it coming.
Ever since I was really, really little, I've had this fear of getting fat. It was like a battle between my love of food and my fear of what the food would do to me.
This progressed as she got older, and people began to notice.
When I saw her exercising and I saw her skinny arms and I saw no stomach when she bent back and it was just this cavity where her stomach used to be, I said to her, "You are way too skinny. This has just gone too far."
And I just took that as, yay, I lost weight.
Colleen Napozlin sought advice from other parents about her concerns for Liliana.
It was confirmed that what I was seeing was evidence of an eating disorder.
She ended up taking her daughter to the Teen Health Center in Windsor. 1 week later, they sent Liliana to the hospital.
That was probably when it hit us the hardest.
After 3 weeks of exercising in her hospital bed when she thought no one was looking, she was moved to Victoria Hospital in London for a more specific treatment program for eating disorders.
I felt guilty for not getting better.
But at the same time, she continued to resist help.
Something about eating disorders is that you always think you're different than everybody else. It's no, I'm different, I'm actually fat. I had this idea now that I had an eating disorder and so I was sick, and so it wasn't up to me to want to get better. It was just part of the illness to fight it.
After 7 weeks in hospitals, Liliana came home.
But things were not back to normal and probably never would be.
It's not a lot of gravy soup.
Just tried to talk about anything but the food while we were eating, but we had to learn how to do that.
Fried turkey dinner.
When Liliana came back from the hospital, so did her timed eating schedule and the tricks she learned from the other girls in the program about hiding food and losing weight.
I was still fighting it actively, even when I knew that it was an illness.
Colleen kept a close eye on her.
I'm not a toddler. Why are you watching me like a toddler? I felt so powerless. And eating disorders, they feed off of the feeling of having power over yourself, control.
A lot of people think eating disorders are about control. They foster a perceived sense of control, but people who are struggling really don't have any control over what they're doing.
Until her weight was restored, Liliana could not exercise. This included ballet. Because dance was her passion, she jumped back into it as soon as she was allowed. But the tight leotard and walls of mirrors in the studio made it difficult.
People tell me I was a lot skinnier than any girl in the class, but in my mind, I was still the biggest one.
She perceived that she was getting fat because she was changing from that body type that she wanted to have in order to be a ballerina. She was going to be a lovely, curvy, attractive young woman, but it just didn't fit her image of what she was supposed to look like.
Many other things also added to her struggle.
Oftentimes it's not one thing that tends to be a trigger. It's sort of, we kind of talk about it in the eating disorder community as the perfect storm.
Liliana turned to cutting as a way to cope with her stress.
When she told me, it broke my heart, and not because she disappointed me, but she was hurting herself. And the fact that she felt that she needed to do that was hard to hear. At the same time, I understood, I guess, and realized that, okay, here's another element, another layer to this battle that we're in.
I think one that people ask about the most.
She would cut areas of her body that she perceived to be fat. And it was like you wanted to cut away at those areas, her thighs, her stomach, her arms.
Liliana's faith has been consistent throughout her life, but caused her conflict in her fight with anorexia.
I had this inner battle with myself because, as a Christian, I knew that God didn't want me doing this because I hated something that He made, and I knew that was wrong.
But it was her faith that also led her to recovery. She says one night she felt God tell her it was time to let go.
I hesitated a lot. And I'm like, okay, God, here it is, take it. I'm gonna stop fighting.
I can kind of see when I'm working with a client sort of the day that they decide, okay, I'm just gonna relinquish what I think I'm doing and trust the process.
Like the climax of tugging war when someone finally has to win. Because it was it was a battle going on for so long, and it was kind of just like that one final moment where somebody has to let go.
So many times before, she had thought about giving in to the other side.
For some people with an eating disorder, that might sound like the better option is to let the darkness win, the constant war, the pain, to let it win. But really, you have to let it go.
There's still this an ever-present consciousness of checking in and just seeing that she's all right and giving her an opportunity to let me know if things are okay or not. I think I've just become much more aware of all of my kids and just in some ways the fragility of personhood in some ways.
Lord, we just thank you for this food.
It's not an obsession anymore. I feel like I'm kind of finally working in the right direction with my identity, is trying to tie it to something that won't fail me.
It's something that will be a temptation for her throughout her life, much like an alcoholic would be tempted to alcohol.
That I already learned.
Colleen says they take the process one day at a time.
Every day of choosing life, choosing to live, and choosing to remember her commitment to get better is a victory. My hope is that she will always have people around her who can give her the support she needs.
It is safe to be me. I am wonderful just as I am. I choose to live. I choose joy and self-acceptance.
Heritage Village is very popular for school trips. Rawad Kansoon was there to bring us this story.
The largest vehicle museum in Ontario, dating back to the early 1800s. A fine collection of classic, antique and vintage vehicles, including everything from motorcycles to race cars and roadsters. The museum designed last week the Technology and Learning Expo, exploring the past, looking to the future.
So we have an incredible collection of things that we often don't get to share with the public. We were looking for a new way to do that, and we decided that this would be a great event. Hopefully it will become an annual event. So today we're just kind of testing the waters. We had school groups here on Thursday and Friday, and today it's open to the public.
The event retrieved back great inventors from the past in a unique way, so visitors will get in touch directly with the figures.
We've got a wonderful cast of actors here who are representing different inventors. They're walking around with name tags, and you can ask them what they invented to learn more about that. Yeah, so there's lots of different things going on today, and we just want to give people a really good example of what technology was like in the past and where it's heading and where it is in the present.
Actors prepared and researched well to cover all the information of the character they play, to be ready for any question from the audience. Emily Adjan, presenting the inventor of the first computer, Ada Laval.
So I was given the character I needed to play, and it was really interesting to learn about her, learn how the first computer was made, and just see a famous woman who had helped with such a thing. Because I'm sure that wasn't very popular back in the day for a woman to do something. So I did a lot of research, figuring out what it was she did, how she helped, how she even managed to get to that point.
The museum is playing a perfect role in educating the new generation and shedding the light on the great history that put humanity on the road of progress and development.
But mostly we host grades 1 through 8 and high school students. We've got multiple different programs that we gear towards the curriculum needs of each grade. Our most popular program is our Pioneer for a Day program, and that targets our grade 3 students who are just starting to learn about Canadian history in their social studies classes.
Visitors enjoyed the collection showed in the museum with their kids and get to know more about each car presented in the showroom.
The cars are all very, very impressive. I think it's great that we get to show future generations just how the technology has evolved over the years.
The Canadian Transportation Museum and Heritage Village is lighting back the history. This land witnessed the dawn of the huge development and technology that we have now. For MediaPlex News, I am Rawat Thompson.
If you're heading down Riverside Drive near the Yacht Club, you may have wondered what's up with the lighthouse that is there. So we sent Zach out to find out.
Sitting inside Lakeview Park Marina is a lighthouse with a story of its own. What's the history behind this impressive beacon? I'll tell you in this edition of Did You Know? The plan for a lighthouse was submitted by William Scott, and he proposed a conical stone-like tower with a keeper's dwelling at its base. It was later said that authorities wanted Scott to build a wooden tower. However, that became the subject of criticism as the structure would likely catch on fire. And on April 17, 1900, a fire did destroy the lighthouse as well as its fog alarm. And on June 1, 1901, a new one was being built just 8 kilometers away to the southwest of the Point Pelee Lighthouse. The new navigational aid, known as the Pelee Passage Lighthouse, was placed in operation on July 4th, 1902. By 1962, the foundation had been heavily damaged and a modern structure topped with a helicopter pad with a cylindrical light tower at one corner replaced the old tower. In 1980, Dean Construction was contacted to dismantle the lighthouse prior to building a new one. In 1980, the company built a new lighthouse as a gift for the city of Windsor. The more you know. For MediaPlex News, I'm Zachary Ballog.
Now on to our 3-day forecast. Wednesday, we can expect mainly sunny skies and a high of 8 degrees Celsius. Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 10, and periods of rain for Friday with a high of 9. Want to learn some new skills? Gibson Gallery might be the ticket. Mahak Nahar reports.
The Gibson Gallery is a charitable non-profit organization that is free to the public and entirely run and maintained by a volunteer board of directors and gallery members. Sandra Ellis teaches interior design at St. Clair College as well as at Gallery.
I love being in the classroom. They give me energy. I love it when a light goes on, when they're drawing something difficult in a technical perspective and they finally get it and they're excited that they've got it.
Abbotsford Guild promote appreciation for arts and crafts. Exhibits by local artists, photographers, stitchers, as well as traveling artists and students are featured during the gallery season. Emma Fleming is a student in Ellis' class and says her skills are improving as a result.
I feel really good. I feel more confident in my penmanship and my watercolor skills because I haven't really taken a formal watercolor class. So I think it's valuable.
Kenneth Craig visits the gallery to view the artwork of his friends.
Yeah, we're just here to enjoy his artwork and have a good time.
Art and craft classes for adults and children are taught throughout the year every Saturday from 1 to 4. For MediaPlex News, I'm Mehak Nahar.
In today's economy, many of us are looking for bargains, and as Rawad Kansoon reports, that's where Mom to Mom comes in.
Well, are you tired of paying retail for something they will quickly grow out? Mom-to-mom resales are a great way to control your budget when you are providing a wardrobe for children who are growing fast. Moms are trying to save cash, especially in a very tight economy.
Rather than paying full price for items, they can come to a sale like this and get clothing for their children at a fraction of the price that they would retail, which helps them save money to put other places in their household budget.
70 vendors presented their items at low prices at the Vogler Furlan venue last weekend. Thousands of kids' items were available in one-stop shopping. Clothes, toys, books at low prices. Hundreds of parents in Windsor, Essex County have the excitement of saving money for gently used items. In today's economy, things have almost doubled, and parents find difficulties to afford stuff for their children.
Coming to sales like this, the mom-to-mom sale, is a fantastic way to save money. You can get clothes for a few dollars a piece, which means you can clothe your kids, you can buy toys, you can buy books for $1 a piece. This is a fantastic way to save money in this crazy economy we're facing right now.
Most of the people attended the event with their kids to find suitable items at good prices.
And to save money in this economy, sales like the mom-to-mom sale really help out. We can find clothes for $1 a piece, things like that, and your money goes a lot farther.
Mom-to-Mom was created in 2003 with goal in connecting parents in Windsor, Essex County. For MediaPlex News, I am Rawad Kansoon.
Many graduates of the MediaPlex have gone on to bigger and better things. Sean Preble is one of them.
Hello, I'm Sean Preble, a graduate of St. Clair College's Journalism and Media Convergence programs, coming to you from Global News in Toronto. I currently work here at Global as an online video journalist with the National Online Video Team, and it was thanks to what I learned at St. Clair that brought me to this point. So, if journalism is the type of thing that interests you, check out St. Clair College and see where it can take you.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Riley Livingston, and you've been watching MediaPlex News Now.
MediaPlex News Now is a production of the St. Clair College Journalism Program.